Hey guys, welcome to Rock Talks. Today we're talking to Scotty and Lewis, singer from Carnifex. We discuss the new album Graveside Confessions, covering Korn, Slipknot, and other bands, how terrible it was to lose $250,000 because of COVID, the upcoming North American tour, and more. If you like this interview, please give me a thumb up, leave a comment, and share the video with all your friends. That's right, all your friends. Also, very important, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell. Hello, Scott. How are you, man? Thank you so much for your time. Welcome to Rock Talks.
Thanks for having me on, man. I really appreciate it.
All right. So let's start with this interview. So a few weeks ago, Carnifex put out a new record, actually an EP called Graveside Confessions, right? So how was the fan reaction so far?
Well, I will say that it's actually not an EP; it's a full-length album. Yeah, it's 15 songs.
My bad, sorry.
Yeah. So the music we have put out so far, they're just like the singles rolling out to the release September 3rd. So I think so far the reaction has been pretty good. You know, we've put out, I guess, 5 singles now.
Yeah,
As part
that's
of
why I thought it was
the
an
release.
EP. Sorry, because you already put
Yeah,
out 5 songs, like really fast.
right. Yeah, that was our strategy to try to and get more listeners engaged and get them ready for the record. You know,
Yeah.
like a traditional album promotion, maybe you put out 2 songs, you know, one 2 months before and then one month before, and then the record comes out. You know,
Yeah, man.
because everybody was on lockdown, sitting at home, we kind of wanted to way to get more music out as we were getting towards the release of the full record. So we said, hey, let's do a bunch of singles, try to get a lot of music out there. That way, when the record does come, not only do you have a good taste of the record, but you still have, you know, you still got 10 more songs to listen to. So it's like you got a full record waiting for you.
Mm-hmm. So it's like 15 songs total?
Yep. Yeah. It's over an hour long.
All right. Sounds interesting. Tell me, how would you sell this record to somebody that never had the chance to listen to Carnifex but is into metal?
I would say it's this meets that. You know, we have always been a band that has combined the sound of different genres and combined the sounds of different legendary bands, you know, and it's no different on Graveside Confessions. I don't think you'll actually find a record that sounds much like Graveside Confessions because the only way that record exists is it's an amalgam of all of our influences. And I don't think, you know, we weren't chasing a sound, we weren't chasing critical reception or commercial sales. We were just being ourselves. So if you want to hear 4 metalheads just being themselves and listening to metal and loving metal our whole life to see what that would sound like, that's what Graveside Confessions is.
Mm-hmm. And how would you compare this new album to the first Carnifex records?
To the first one, well, there is a lot of differences. You know, we've come a whole long way in 16 years, but we're still, I mean, it's still, for the most part, all the same guys. You know, Fred is our newest member and he joined in 2007. So we've really, yeah, right. He's not new at all. So we've really just gotten to a point where we have like a lot of cohesion and our goal as a band is, you know, we all have the same goal. We all want the same things. We want to see the band grow as far as it can. So, you know, for us, it's like we've gotten better with our writing skills. The band has gotten bigger. But as far as our original passion of just being 4 guys who love metal, that's never changed. And it's never been stronger.
Nice. And you put out a Korn cover on this new album, right? That body's everywhere. And why did you decide to cover this particular song from Follow the Leader?
Well, we had messed around with some other songs. You know, we originally were going to cover Cannibal Corpse, Hammer Smash Face. We actually recorded it and everything, but ultimately we decided not to because we couldn't really find a way to make that song any more brutal. You know, like how do we make this gnarlier? Okay, new recording, but that's other than that, that's really it.
Yeah.
And so from there, we started thinking, well, what's a great song that we can record that still gives us a chance to bring some Carnifex into it, And Korn is the band that we all love, certainly a huge influence for Sean and Corey, the two guys that really wrote the record. And so for them, it was like, yeah, let's pick Dead Bodies Everywhere. And when Sean did the adaptation of it, when he wrote the cover of it, I thought he added a lot of things that were really specific to Carnifex that you wouldn't hear in anyone else's cover. And so that made us want to go for it. It's originality, just being different. That's kind of what our goal is every time we do something.
Mm-hmm. Would you say Korn is a huge influence for Carnifex since day one?
Yes and no. I mean, a huge influence on our actual sound, maybe not. But as far as like a huge influence to the members on their journey as musicians, through heavy music, yeah, absolutely, definitely. It's pretty obvious we're a very different style of music than Korn, but I think as a whole, yeah, of course, the nu metal genre, Korn, Slipknot, Disturbed, all those bands definitely had a huge influence on getting fans over to deathcore and death metal.
Yeah, it's like a ladder. First nu metal, then metalcore, then deathcore, and then you can go back to the traditional metal, right? Thrash metal, death metal, black metal. That was the case for a lot of people from my generation.
I agree with you.
In particular, right? I'm 35. Yeah, and
yeah,
talking
I'm
about
the same.
Yeah, all right. Talking about Slipknot, you actually cover Slipknot 2 with the song Heretic Anthem, right? And besides that, also you covered Slayer and Nine Inch Nails. So these three bands are really different, right? Between each other. But somehow you guys are also influenced by them. So is it safe to say that all the influences for Carnifex are really broad?
It is safe to say that. Yeah, definitely. It's like my influences are always going to kind of be from the goth side, from the, like I'm a huge fan of Nine Inch Nails, White Zombie, KMFDM. That's kind of where I started with underground music. And then from there, I found Cradle of Filth, Jimmy Gear, Emperor, Satyricon, Immortal, Dissection, all that stuff. So I kind of came around to extreme metal, not through nu metal, like a lot of people did. Sean and Corey, they did come through nu metal, listening to Slipknot and all that stuff super early on, Korn. And then Fred kind of came as way of thrash metal. He was really into Slayer, Massacre, Death Angel, bands like that. He was actually in like a thrash punk band before he joined Carnifex. And so I think it's all of those influences together are what created the Carnifex sound. We didn't, when we sat down, there was no deathcore. 2005, All Shall Perish was around, and maybe Despised Icon, but they're all the way in Canada. And it's like, 05, social media was very different. So we didn't really know any of these MySpace bands. Days. You know what I mean? Yeah, the MySpace days, exactly. The beginning of the MySpace days, 05. It was still very new to everyone. And it was just our sound. We didn't know really we were making deathcore until people came along and said, "You guys are a deathcore band." It was like, "Oh, all right." Sure.
All right. In your words, how do you think deathcore age? Would you say is it in a better place now compared to 2008, maybe?
A better place? Yeah, I think so. I think there was a lot of amazing deathcore in 2008, but the problem was the industry was really anti-deathcore. All the bands were saying, we're not deathcore, we hate that label. The labels were trying to get the bands to, you're just death metal, don't say you're deathcore, that'd be horrible. And so there was a lot of discouragement from originality, to be honest, in the early days of deathcore. I think if you wanted to be a deathcore band, essentially you were just signing up to get shit on. And so anyone that lasted through that, I think has a lot of resolve because of it, and it kind of is why deathcore is probably as brutal as it is because you sort of have to be, because otherwise people are just going to make fun of you and tell you to get lost,
Mm-hmm. Oh, by the way, are you gonna put out the Hammer Smash Face cover sometime?
I don't think so. I mean, we shelved it. We were gonna do it for this record, and we chose not to. So I don't know that we would go back and change that decision. Maybe.
Maybe for like a bonus track for a special edition or
I mean,
rarities
the
besides.
reason the reason we didn't release it has not changed, which is I don't know how we made the song better. So unless we can figure out how to do that, I don't see it getting released.
Maybe you can play it live sometime.
Yeah, shit, maybe. Well, the lyrics are fucking ridiculous.
All right. So last year, Carnifex lost $250,000 on a canceled headlining tour
Yeah,
because of COVID,
FedEx.
right? Yeah. What did the band do to recover from such a financial loss?
We're still trying.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, no, that was real. That it was destroyed our business. Yeah, we're honestly we're still trying to recover. All of us personally are completely broke, in tens of thousands of dollars of debt, each one of us. I'm in forbearance on my mortgage. People lost wives, people lost houses. It's tough. The touring business was the Carnifex business. That was what we did. That was where we made our money. That's where we've been spending the last 16 years of our lives.
Yeah.
So to lose a huge headline tour like that we had, we worked a long time to get those guarantees to where they were. We worked a long time to be able to tour with a band like Three Teeth and to go to those venues. And then we lost the momentum. And then we had all the bills. We had $45,000 in merch printed, ready to go, waiting to be sold. Didn't play a single show. Almost $10,000 we had already spent on the bus for the deposit in the first week. Lost all that. Never stepped foot on the bus. $7,500 for light production. Never put it on stage once. Lost all that. Flew all the crew to the house. Had to fly them all back. You name it. Didn't get paid. We were supposed to get paid on that tour. Instead of getting paid, turned out we had $70,000 worth of production debt. So we started the pandemic in a horrible place with a ton of high interest debt and people expecting their money. That was a really bad place to go a year and a half without an income. And we're still in that place. We haven't really got back to touring yet. And we're still trying to pay those debts off. So we're looking forward to touring, looking forward to trying to get, some mitigation from this free fall that we've been in for the last, it's like almost 20 months now.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm not an expert in this industry, but I get a chance to see some other bands do these streaming shows, to get some money during the pandemic. They put out a special merch and sell that merch through their own website. And some other bands do this kind of Indigo campaigns, Kickstart campaigns to
we had a
raise money.
Patreon for a while.
Yeah, Patreon. Maybe you can try some of those things, or you already tried.
Yeah, we ran a Patreon for from April to December of 2020, so eight months, I guess. And try to keep the community engaged best we could there. But the reality is when you're on the road between merch and what you're making from a guarantee, you're making $10,000 a day. You have 5 weeks of that straight. That's a business. A live stream once a month, a couple t-shirts online. It's not the same business.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, best of luck to you, man, and your band to recover.
We're trying, brother.
Yeah. All
yeah.
Right. So this new record better be good.
Hey, man, we put everything we fucking could into it, and I wish the label had sent it to you for you to hear. I really do think it's a great record. It was a good representation of the duality of the time, in that financially, as a business, as individuals, absolutely fucked. But as friends, me, Sean, Corey, Fred, sitting down to write music we love, I think we knocked it out of the park. So I'm super proud of us for that.
Nice. So if you're watching this interview, go pick up Graveside Confessions.
Grab it.
Put your money where your mouth is, people. All right. So how important is the influence of black metal in your music? and lyrics. I see that you got a pentagram back there.
Yeah, and I'm wearing an Unleashed shirt right now.
Unleashed,
Although I
yeah.
guess maybe they're death metal, black
Yeah,
and death
more
metal,
death
but
metal, yeah.
Well, black metal for me was the first extreme metal I listened to. As I mentioned a little bit earlier, I found Cradle and Dimmu by way of goth and industrial music like White Zombie and KMFDM and Nine Inch Nails and Manson. So I've always been the dark side of music and exploring the topics that aren't fit for pop music, and so I'd say not just musically, but the themes of black metal are really strong in our music, and in the artwork, in the lyrics, the subtext of the albums. I would say those are probably some of the strongest black metal elements we have. Musically, yes, obviously we do incorporate some blackened elements, but it's not like we're black metal or anything like that. It goes back to being our true influence. Like we're not trying to contrive a sound that's already popular and then follow somebody else. We're just putting the music we love into our music and seeing if that connects with people.
Right. Carnifex got a chance to work with Jason Sukoff, this famous producer who worked with Chimera, Death Angel, and many other legendary metal bands. So how was the experience to work with such a crazy guy as Jason?
Well, he is a crazy guy in a great way. And I think we've done 3 records with Jason, or at least 3 records with Audio Hammer. And then World War X was obviously with Jason. It's great. It's awesome. He's an awesome producer. He's a great friend. I really enjoy spending time with him. It's fun to have people in the studio that aren't your band, because it's just, you get some new jokes, you get some fresh zingers. So that's always cool. This time around, obviously we were all stuck at home and we decided, hey, we just want to do the record ourselves. So, Sean did the record, but I had a great time with Sean. He's basically my best friend. So.
Nice. So I think you're going to start a tour in October?
September.
All right. So what can you tell us about this upcoming tour? With other bands are coming with you? When are you going to start?
Yeah, it starts September 3rd, and we're on the road till October 24th. We do some dates afterwards to get home, but the headline, the band who's headlining is the Black Dahlia Murder. They're headlining from September 3rd to October 12th. And then we're doing a headline run with Enterprise Earth as support from the 13th to the 24th. So about 2 months of touring, staying busy. It's good to be out.
Is this a North American tour, correct?
Correct, yeah.
All right. Is there anything you want to add about the new album? Some message to the fans?
Yeah, my message is stream the record wherever you can. Apple, Spotify, YouTube. It's obviously completely free, so it's just some of your time. Listen to it front to back if you enjoy it, and I hope that you do if you connect with it, and I hope that you do take the time to go to our web store, either buy the record or buy a t-shirt. That would be a huge support to us.
By the way, thank you very much to each and every one of you. We recently passed the 1K subscribers mark here in YouTube. We did that in only 10 months. That's really amazing. Thank you very much, guys, for supporting this channel. Don't forget that you can follow me on my socials. I'm Rock Talks _Pierre on Instagram and Rock Talks on Facebook. If you have the means, you can make a little donation. Just look for the Buy Me a Coffee link in every video description. If you don't, that's totally fine. But if you see a little advertisement at the beginning of my videos, please don't skip it. By doing that, you're helping me a lot. Anyway, thank you very much again, guys. See you next week. If you like this interview, please give me a thumb up, leave a comment, and share the video with all your friends. Also, very important, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell.